you have to be doing something. And that is going through the things I tell you to do and trust that the process will give you what you're looking for. But you'll be so much more pleased when you have decided on your end, the model, the approach, how you're going to approach the marketplace as a trader. And you brought that to this. I just gave you the tools. You decided what you're going to do. And it's very rewarding because you feel like it's yours. Yes, I taught you how to trade. Yes, I taught you these techniques and concepts. But your model is the model that you're going to create. And when you start making fucking money with that, and you tell Carl to pound fucking sand, you're out of here. Enjoy working, bitch. I'm out of here. Every day's a fucking weekend to me now. Fuck off. That type of mentality is going to be easy for you to obtain. Not that you should have that mentality and that brash and rude, but for some of you, you can't wait to tell Carl to fuck himself. When you do this on your own and you've made that model from your own hard work, you put all the blood, sweat, and tears, the effort, you work through all of your uncertainties, your doubts, and you have done it yourself. It's so rewarding. It's so fucking rewarding because you didn't learn it in a fucking book. ICT didn't lay it out for you like I did the 2022 model. There's nothing wrong with that model, but you have decided that this is what you're going to do using what was been taught to you. It's yours. You fucking earned it. You earned it. Nobody can take it away. Nobody can minimize it. Who gives a fuck what they fucking think about me, the community, the concepts? You think you're going to give a fuck? Seriously, think about this. If you're not profitable yet, are you going to give a flying fuck what anybody fucking thinks about what you're doing when you don't work anymore? When you have money in the bank that you don't have right now, is it going to fucking bother you how people talk about me? No. No, you're not going to give a fuck. And that's the right mindset. You're here to learn how to fucking trade. You're not here to protect me from assholes that have little dick complexes. You're here to learn how to trade, make money, find a model, and get on business with fucking making your life better than it is. Touch base every now and then when you got a chance. Send me a fucking postcard. There it is. There's no tethering to me. Just this year. That's it. Once you get your wings, fly, baby. I want to see how high you can go. I can't wait to see you do it. But you got to do the things I tell you to do. You have to. There's no way to do it other than that. You can't fumble your way through it. And it's going to require you to do work. And that means go through the charts, see things in price action and data that you can't trade. You're not even pushing a button on demo. Nothing like that. Not even trade simulators. You have to go through the process of finding what it is that makes sense to you out of what I'm teaching as a PD array. That's your first step. Because I already taught you how to find the draw on liquidity, and I'm giving that to you all year long. That will happen by default. You'll learn that because you're being exposed to it. That's the only way you did it. That's what happens. That's why I taught paid mentorships where they had to spend the entire year with me. They will see, they saw, it's documented. Nobody can change it. Nobody can say it didn't happen. It fucking happened year after year after year. Now you're seeing it on a minute by minute basis. So again, if it was fraud, you'd fucking know it by now. But that PD array, that multiplier, that entry pattern, that concept of getting in, you need to decide what that is. You need to decide that. Nobody can make that decision for you because I can't make you see a mitigation block. I can't see how I could go into the charts and make you see a breaker if you just can't understand a run on liquidity and a shift in market structure. There's two minimal criteria that have to be there for that to be a breaker. And if you don't understand liquidity or where people put trading stop losses and how they might look at the marketplace as a potential breakout, you won't understand a breaker. You won't understand it. You can see me pointing to it, but it means nothing to you. Why? Because you haven't studied old data enough to say, oh yeah, look what happens there. And you have to look at the chart and question, before this move happened, who was long and who was short? And if they were long or short, where was their stop loss at? And then reverse engineer all the price movements Because that's what I did, folks. That's what I was doing on America Online. I was literally going back through old data and I was looking for things that I'm teaching you. And when I started doing things and calling the market like that, I got noticed because it was too consistent. And I'm absolutely fucking certain, okay, that people are watching me do this on Twitter and they're watching me do it on a live stream, and I'm calling shit so precisely on a minute by minute basis. They're questioning, how the fuck am I doing this? I have to be doing this with magic. I have to be doing some kind of trickery. There has to be something going on. And the wonderful thing is you're all watching with real-time data and it's happening. And I'm leaving no excuse except for foresight. It's not hindsight, it's foresight. And you won't be able to do that unless you've done all the back testing, which is simply just looking at old moves and studying them. You're not trying to trade them. You're just observing how often does it form, how quickly does it move into profit, and how much drawdown would it be. And you're logging that. And you're putting down, okay, this market on this date, it did this. It moved this much to profitability. This is how much it had in drawdown, and this is how much time it took to trade. And then you're going to get a running total or an average of how many points or pips, whatever market you're looking at, on average, collectively, cumulatively, you'll see that. And then you'll also see what's your maximum losing trade that you saw in that sample set, and what was your maximum profit trade. Throw both of them out. Then average what you have there. And that'll give you a pretty good idea as a baseline if that was going to be your model. This is what you, because you can't say that would have been my best trade. I would have got that. Take that out. And your worst trade, what was potentially your worst trade, you probably would have not had your entire stock taken out because you could be doing partials. So you got to take both those numbers out. Don't even factor them in. Now, some of you might argue and say, no, I can understand taking your best winning trade out, but you got to leave the worst trade in there. You're talking from a perspective that you want to wreck your fucking self. I'm not taking on ridiculous risk. I'm not trading to try to save face on live streams. Okay. I'm not doing that. I'm trying to take measured, calculated risks. And if the trade is going to go bad, generally, most times I'm going to see it's probably not going to be there. And I start doing that too. The 3-minute rule of it's got to start talking to me right now and be in my favor, or I'm going to start taking some of the trade off or close it all away. I have tools for all those things. You don't see these other traders out there that are trying to teach you. They don't have that shit. They're just reacting because they believe they have to react to their bullshit that pops up on their chart. They got to react to the indicator. They got to react to something happening outside of price itself. I'm predicting, I'm telling you what these candles are going to do. Come on. How much more evidence would one need, right? I got a whole year of it. I got a whole fucking year of it. My bag is not empty yet. Got a lot more cookies in this jar. But I gave you 6 more minutes than I told you I would give you. And yes, I'm going to regret having talked the way I talked in this one. And I can't help it, but given enough time to run, I'm going to run wild. And I apologize if I spoke in such a way that was not becoming of a mentor that you would have high regard for. But everything I said tonight, I meant. Everything I meant for your learning, guide you where your focus should be, and to remind you what you're here for and the length of time that's going to be needed for certain things to develop. But you will do well to listen to everything I'm telling you to do and do your best to do it. Even if it feels uncomfortable, even if it feels like it's unproductive or counterintuitive. Remember, you're coming to me to learn. I know how to do this. I'm proving it in a degree that nobody else is going to be able to match. Dave, a reminder, I'm going to be expecting you to call every single 1 minute candle. Five handles as a starting point, I think, is realistic. Let me know in your opinion. I mean, even if you don't think it is, if anybody says they don't think that 5 handles is a good starting point, like a training wheel operation for a target for a new student, if you don't think that's a good thing, say so. But folks in the community, don't blast them. Be respectful and ask them why if they want to divulge that in their response. Preferably they should. They should say, I don't think it's a good idea to look for 5 handles initially as a first target as a developing student, and here's why I believe that. But if you believe that 5 handles is practical, something that is reasonable, that's not too high and lofty, and it makes sense to have something like that to be a first rung of the ladder in terms of experience to strive for, let me know that also as a reply to me posting this Twitter space on my feed. Just reply to that post and let me know if you think 5 handles is practical and it makes sense for you to see that as a first rung objective, because I think it's practical. I think it's something that you'll see form pretty easy and frequently over the course of a week. I mean, you have lots of opportunities to see that form. And if you're trading with 1 mini, that's $250. And a lot of you young guys and gals, and maybe the older folks that are, on Social Security, you don't work anymore. And if you just got one trade with 1 mini, that's 5 handles. That's $250. I'm certain that $1,000 extra a month would do a whole lot. Maybe you're on medications and prescription medicines, and maybe your insurance doesn't cover everything. There's a lot of things that could be out there that would cost you a lot of money right now. And if you can pick up an extra $250 a week, and that's all you ever was able to do, that's not failure. That's not failure. And it's not Lamborghini. Okay. I know. And that's exactly why I've taught the same way all the time. Practical. Everybody that turns this industry into get rich quick, they are fraudulent, because 99% of the people that are telling you they can do this can't. And whenever they try to, it's interesting to see how they fail. And the people that are teaching practically how to do this, I think, are the ones that are more prone to be able to do it. And I'm just trying to be an old fuddy-duddy ICT. Nothing about image, just the bare bones, brass tacks, where the rubber meets the road. How are you going to take this and make money with it? And if you can alleviate some major bill, or maybe a part of one bill each month, and that's your first experience in profitability, and you find it consistently easy to do that, and you slowly, not quickly, slowly build up to eventually getting half of your bills paid off for the month, and then eventually replacing what was required in maybe 1 or 2 jobs to get your income covered. Now you can get it entirely from your trading. So now you've doubled your income. So the next step is to triple your income and save up $200,000 of your own money, not $200,000 in funded account, $200,000 of your own money. And then have a respectable amount of money for trading in yourself, your own money. And you can hold on to these funded accounts if they're still allowing that to be a thing. But you have to have money in the bank before you consider leaving your job. Just because you made a lot of money in your funded account and you had a 6-figure withdrawal, that's not an invitation to quit, because $100,000 is nothing. Like, that's nothing money. For some of you that find it as a first big windfall victory, it's life-changing for you. But it's not going to last forever. I mean, shit, you can buy, what, 1 car now? I mean, most cars are so over, well, we have the cars I like, but the point is, it's a lot of money to some of you, but it won't last you a long time. And you don't want to quit your job and lose one stream of income and put pressure on you because you have not fully adopted the mindset of, I have enough money, I don't have to take a trade right now, which is what would happen if you are undercapitalized, ill-equipped, and don't have the experience. You've been doing it for too little time. If you stop working and you now place all the emphasis on doing what? Taking a trade. Whereas if you're working your job, you can afford to take a loss. Your mental capital is a little bit higher in equity than that of if you quit your job, you don't have money in the bank. Why do you need $200,000? Well, chances are most of you don't have a $200,000 a year salary. Most of you probably don't have $100,000 a year salary. So it's given, in my mind, at least like a 2-year padding of not needing to have the bill money made right now. And it gives you time. It gives you a cushion. And then you have a respectable amount of money to trade with. What is that? In my opinion, 100 grand. And now you're thinking, oh, it just puts me right at the whole ballpark. No, it doesn't. You're trying to quit your job too quickly. You're going to have to fucking work with Carl for a little while. That's the way it is, man. Okay. But there's coming a day, if you do everything I'm telling you to do, you have the advantages of getting there. You're not being promised that. But if you do all the things right, you're going in the right direction. If it takes you 3 years, what's the alternative? You're fucking working with Carl. You're going to work with fucking Carl. So just put your nose in the books. Okay. ICT book right here. Every day we're writing a new chapter. Every week it's a new volume. All you have to do is keep showing up. You will get fresh bread and you'll grow stronger over time. You'll get more experience. And when this happens and you finally find yourself, think about it. You think these people I'm going to interview, they're making big money. They're getting 6 figures. I guarantee you, when they first started trading, that was only a dream. They couldn't see it happening. Now that they've done it, they know it's possible. They don't have that fear of, I wonder if it could. It is fucking happened for them. They've done it. Some of them done it more than once. So now they're desensitized to it. They don't see it as an impossible thing. Whereas right now, you think it's impossible. Everything's impossible until you do it. Everything. Everybody told me I would never figure this shit out. And I probably figured out some stuff. And you'll figure your own shit out too. But quitting your job too quickly is one of the worst mistakes you're going to make, because you're going to place so much pressure. More than if you were trying to live stream trading. Because you can get up there and say, no, I'm not going to take any trades because you can get stage fright. And just don't take any trades. But you can't not take trades when you don't have a job. And the only means of income is you making winning trades. If you don't have the experience of knowing what you're looking for, knowing it like the back of your hand, and you know that you're going to find a setup, I know I'm finding winning setups next week. I know. Do you know that about what you're doing? If you're honest, do you really know that? If you're honest and you say no, that's not weakness. You know what that is? You're being practical about yourself. You're being practical and realistic with your present aptitude and skill set and the lack thereof. You're not already trying to do something or thinking highly of yourself without having the ability to do those things. You're literally on the right track if that's how you think. Because you're being realistic, you don't think that you're going to be able to do that because it's not practical for you right now. It's too early in the game. It does not mean that that's how it's going to be. You're never going to get it. It just means right now you're still in development. You're under construction. And I am turning you into a savage. You're going to be a bad motherfucker come November. And maybe you don't talk like that, but you're going to be a bad motherfucker. Let's just be honest. You're going to be a motherfucking savage. You're going to be able to look at these charts and in short order, very short order time, you'll know exactly where it's going to go. Yes, I fucking said that. You're going to know exactly where it's going to go. And you're going to have multiple ways to approach getting in it. That's empowerment. That's what the outcome of this year is going to be. And you're seeing proof of it every single day that we get together. These things repeat. I'm calling shots. I'm calling where the market's going to go. All you have to do is study it. And then let the process of being there, observing it, even if it's in hindsight, if you can't be there when I'm doing it live, watch the recordings or add the tweets to your chart afterwards and see it. Your eye will be trained in observing it.